3 months ago, a 68-year-old man named Robert sat in my office looking completely defeated. He told me something I hear almost every single week. Doctor, I drink 8 glasses of water every day. I do everything they tell me to do, but I still feel exhausted by 2 p.m. My hands are always cold. My legs feel heavy when I walk, and some mornings I wake up so stiff I feel like I aged 10 years overnight. I looked at his blood work. His kidney function was fine. His heart looked okay on paper. No diabetes, no thyroid issues. On paper, Robert was a healthy 68-year-old man, but he felt like he was 88. So I asked him one question that changed everything. Robert, when you drink water, what exactly are you drinking? He looked at me confused. Just water, plain water, from the tap or a bottle. 8 glasses, every single day. And right there, I found the problem. It wasn't that Robert wasn't drinking enough water. He was. The problem was that after 60, plain water alone is no longer enough to do what your body actually needs it to do. His cells were surrounded by water, but starving for what that water was missing. His blood was technically hydrated, but flowing like cold honey through vessels that needed it to flow like warm silk. Within 6 weeks of making 5 simple changes to his water, not expensive supplements, not medication, just 5 things added to ordinary water, Robert called my office. His exact words were, "I haven't felt this good in 15 years. My wife thinks I'm making it up." He wasn't making it up. His follow-up blood work confirmed it. I'm Dr. Arav Menon, and this is Gentle. I've spent over 25 years in cardiovascular medicine, and today I'm going to share the 5 simple water upgrades that can transform how your body feels after 60. We're going from least powerful to most powerful. And what I'll share at number 1 has been called one of the most remarkable natural circulation discoveries in the last decade. But first, you need to understand why plain water stops working the way you think it does. Here's something that genuinely surprises most of my patients. Water doesn't automatically hydrate your cells just because you swallow it. For water to actually do its job inside your body, it needs to cross cell membranes, enter your bloodstream efficiently, support electrical signals between your nerves and muscles, and help your blood maintain the right consistency to flow smoothly through 60,000 miles of blood vessels. When you were 30, your body managed all of that effortlessly. You drank water, and your system knew exactly what to do with it. Electrolyte balance was tight. Cell membranes were flexible. Your blood vessels produced plenty of nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps arteries relaxed and open. After 60, things change in ways nobody warns you about. Your body's electrolyte balance becomes less stable. Sodium, potassium, and magnesium levels fluctuate more easily. Your cells become slightly less efficient at absorbing water. Your blood vessels produce significantly less nitric oxide, sometimes 40 to 50% less than they did in your 30s. Your blood plasma volume decreases naturally with age, which means your blood becomes slightly thicker and moves with more resistance. So when you drink plain water after 60, here's what can actually happen. The water enters your stomach, gets absorbed into your bloodstream, but without adequate electrolytes and minerals, it temporarily dilutes the signals your blood vessels need to relax. Your body registers the volume, but doesn't get the full circulation benefit. You urinate more frequently. You feel like you're hydrating, but your cells, your muscles, your brain, and especially your blood vessels aren't getting what they actually need. This is why so many seniors drink water all day long and still experience cold hands, heavy legs, afternoon fatigue, brain fog, and dizziness when they stand up. The water is present, the full hydration response is not. The good news? This is one of the easiest things to fix, not with expensive supplements, not with prescriptions, with simple additions to the water you're already drinking. 5 upgrades, ranked from good to extraordinary. Let's start with number 5. But before we begin, quick question. What time do you usually drink your first glass of water in the morning? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll tell you why that timing matters more than you think. Number 5, lemon and mineral salt water. Starting with the foundation. And I'm putting this at number 5 not because it's weak. It's actually powerful on its own, but the drinks coming after it build on what this one starts. Most people have heard that lemon water is healthy, but almost nobody knows why it specifically helps circulation after 60. And even fewer people know why adding a small amount of unrefined mineral salt transforms it from a pleasant morning drink into a genuine hydration upgrade. Here's the science. Fresh lemon juice contains citric acid and vitamin C. Vitamin C is a critical cofactor for nitric oxide production. Remember, nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open wider. After 60, your body produces less of it naturally. Vitamin C from fresh lemon helps your body produce more of what it's losing with age. Now here's where the mineral salt comes in. And I want to be very clear. I'm not talking about regular table salt. Table salt is stripped of minerals during processing. I'm talking about unrefined mineral salt. Sea salt, pink salt, Celtic salt. These contain trace amounts of potassium, magnesium, and calcium alongside sodium. When you dissolve a tiny amount of mineral salt in water with lemon, you create what's called a balanced electrolyte solution. This solution is absorbed by your cells more efficiently than plain water because the mineral balance helps water cross cell membranes through a process called osmotic balance. A study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology found that water consumed with a balanced electrolyte profile improved plasma volume retention by approximately 17% compared to plain water. That means more of the water you drink actually stays in your bloodstream where it can support circulation rather than passing quickly through your kidneys. The citric acid from lemon also plays another role most people don't know about. It helps your body absorb the minerals in the salt more effectively. Vitamin C enhances mineral bioavailability, so the combination works together, not just side by side. Here's your MediGentle recipe. Take 16 ounces of room temperature water, not ice cold. Cold water causes temporary vasoconstriction, meaning it briefly tightens your blood vessels. Room temperature is gentler on your system. Squeeze half a fresh lemon into it, then add just 1/8 of a teaspoon of unrefined mineral salt. Stir until dissolved. Drink this first thing in the morning, 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast. Your absorption rate is highest when your stomach is empty and your body has been fasting overnight. Most people notice a subtle difference within the first week, slightly more energy in the morning, slightly warmer hands, less frequent urination despite drinking the same amount of water. These are signs your cells are actually holding on to the hydration instead of flushing it. Now, I have to be honest with you because that's what MediGentle is about. If you have kidney disease or you're on a strict low-sodium diet, please talk to your doctor before adding any salt to your water. Even small amounts matter when your kidneys aren't filtering optimally. For most healthy adults over 60, this amount is well within safe limits, but your situation is unique. This is your foundation, a gentle starting point. But number 4 takes hydration to a completely different level using an ingredient that most people pour down the drain. Number 4, cucumber and mint infused water. Now, this one might sound like something you'd get at a fancy spa, but the science behind it is surprisingly serious. And for seniors dealing with circulation issues, it's far more powerful than it looks. Let me tell you about a patient named Gloria. She was 72, came to me with chronic swelling in her ankles and feet. Her blood pressure was borderline high. She was already on a low-dose medication, but the swelling wouldn't go away. She was drinking plenty of water, exercising, doing everything right. I suggested she try cucumber-infused water for 30 days before we considered changing her medication. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. 30 days later, the swelling had reduced by about 40%. Her blood pressure readings improved, she was sleeping better, and she told me she had more energy in the afternoons than she'd had in years. Here's why cucumber works so well for circulation after 60. Cucumbers are one of nature's richest sources of a compound called silica. Silica is a mineral that directly supports the structural integrity of your blood vessel walls. After 60, your blood vessel walls naturally become thinner and less elastic. Silica helps maintain the connective tissue that keeps them flexible. Flexible arteries respond better to changes in blood pressure and allow blood to flow with less resistance. Cucumbers are also extremely rich in potassium. Potassium is the direct counterbalance to sodium in your body. When your potassium levels are adequate, your blood vessels relax more easily. blood pressure becomes easier to regulate. Circulation to your extremities improves. When you add fresh mint to the equation, you introduce menthol and rosmarinic acid. Menthol is a natural vasodilator. It gently encourages blood vessels to open wider. Rosmarinic acid is a potent anti-inflammatory compound that helps calm the chronic low-level inflammation in blood vessel walls that builds up with age. A study published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that mint consumption was associated with measurable improvements in endothelial function, which is the ability of your blood vessel lining to regulate blood flow and pressure properly. Here's your MediGentle recipe. Take a 32-ounce glass pitcher, slice half a fresh cucumber with the skin on. The skin contains the highest concentration of silica. Add 8 to 10 fresh mint leaves, lightly crushed between your fingers to release the oils. Fill with room temperature or slightly cool filtered water. Let it infuse for at least 2 hours in the refrigerator. 4 hours is even better. Sip throughout the day, especially between meals. This is not a one-time drink. It's your daily hydration replacement. Instead of plain water in the afternoon, drink this. The beauty of this drink is its gentleness. There's nothing aggressive here. No strong flavors, no digestive side effects, no interactions with common medications. It's simply water that now carries compounds your blood vessels actually need. If you're on blood pressure medication, this drink can be safely consumed alongside your treatment. But as always, let your doctor know about any dietary changes. And if you notice your blood pressure dropping lower than usual, that's actually a sign it's working and your medication may need adjusting. That's a conversation for your doctor, not a decision to make alone. Number 3 is where things start getting genuinely powerful, and it involves a root vegetable that cardiologists are paying serious attention to. Number 3, beetroot and ginger water. If there is one drink on this list that has the most robust scientific evidence behind it, it might be this one. Beetroot has been studied extensively in cardiovascular research over the past decade, and the results are consistent and impressive. Here's why. Beetroot is one of the richest natural sources of dietary nitrates. When you consume these nitrates, the friendly bacteria in your mouth begin converting them into nitrites. Those nitrites then convert into nitric oxide in your stomach and bloodstream. And nitric oxide, as we've discussed, is the master molecule of circulation. It tells your blood vessels to relax, widen, and let blood flow through with less resistance. After 60, your natural nitric oxide production drops dramatically. This is one of the primary reasons blood pressure rises and circulation worsens with age. Beetroot essentially supplements what your body is losing. A well-designed study published in the journal Hypertension by the American Heart Association found that daily consumption of beetroot juice lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 8 mmHg and diastolic by approximately 4 mmHg over a 4-week period. For context, that's comparable to what some first-line blood pressure medications achieve. Now, when you add ginger to the equation, you get an additional layer of benefit. Fresh ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogaols. These compounds have 2 important effects on circulation. First, they act as natural anti-inflammatories, helping to calm the chronic inflammation in blood vessel walls that restricts flow. Second, they gently reduce platelet aggregation, meaning they help prevent blood cells from clumping together and moving sluggishly. The combination of nitric oxide production from beetroot and anti-inflammatory action from ginger creates a synergy that addresses 2 of the biggest circulation problems after 60 simultaneously: stiff vessels and sticky blood. Here's your MediGentle recipe. Take 1 small raw beetroot. You can peel it or scrub it thoroughly. Cut into chunks. Place in a blender with 16 ounces of water and a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger, peeled. Blend until smooth. Strain through a fine mesh strainer or cheesecloth. If the taste is too earthy for you, add half a green apple or a small squeeze of fresh lemon. Both pair beautifully, and the apple adds its own mild circulatory benefits through quercetin, a flavonoid that supports blood vessel health. The timing here matters. Nitric oxide levels peak approximately 2 to 3 hours after consuming beetroot. So if you want the benefit during your morning walk or exercise, drink it 2 hours before. If you want the benefit overnight, when your body repairs blood vessels during deep sleep, drink it in the early evening, about 2 hours before bed. Most people notice a visible sign that it's working: a mild flushing or warmth in the skin, especially in the face and hands. That's increased blood flow reaching your capillaries. It's a good sign. Important safety note from MediGentle. If you are on blood pressure medication, beetroot can enhance the effect. This is usually positive, but can occasionally cause blood pressure to drop too low. Start with half the recipe for the first week. Monitor how you feel. And please share this change with your doctor so they can adjust your medication if needed. Do not be alarmed if your urine or stool turns slightly pink or red after drinking this. That's completely harmless. It's just the natural pigment from the beetroot passing through. Now, number 2, this is where I saw some of the most dramatic results in my own patients, and it involves 2 ingredients that work faster than almost anything I've ever recommended. Number 2, turmeric and black pepper golden water. Let me tell you about a patient named James, 74 years old, former engineer, sharp mind, but his body was slowing down in ways that frustrated him deeply. Cold feet, constant, even in summer, stiffness in his legs every morning that took 30 minutes to ease, and a persistent foggy feeling in his head that made him feel like he was thinking through cotton wool. His circulation tests confirmed what he was feeling. Blood flow to his extremities was significantly below where it should have been for his age. His inflammatory markers were elevated, not dangerously high, but consistently above normal, the kind of chronic low-level inflammation that silently damages blood vessels over years. I recommended turmeric and black pepper golden water as part of a broader plan, not as a replacement for anything, as an addition. 8 weeks later, James told me his feet were warm for the first time in years. His morning stiffness had reduced dramatically, and the brain fog had lifted noticeably. His inflammatory markers had dropped by approximately 28%. That's significant. That's measurable. That's real. Here's the science. Turmeric contains an active compound called curcumin. Curcumin is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory compounds in the world. It works by inhibiting NF-κB, a molecule that travels into the nuclei of your cells and turns on genes related to inflammation. Chronic inflammation, as we've discussed many times on MediGentle, is the root cause of arterial stiffness, plaque buildup, and reduced blood flow. The problem with curcumin is absorption. On its own, your body absorbs very little of it. Most passes through your digestive system without reaching your bloodstream. This is where black pepper becomes essential. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine. A study published in the journal Planta Medica found that piperine increased the bioavailability of curcumin by approximately 2,000%. That's not a typo. Without black pepper, you're wasting most of the turmeric you consume. When curcumin enters your bloodstream effectively, it does several things for your circulation. It reduces inflammation in the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels. This helps damaged vessels begin to heal. It improves endothelial function, meaning your blood vessels become better at dilating and constricting when they need to, and it reduces the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, which is the process that causes cholesterol to stick to your artery walls and form plaque. A study published in the journal Nutrition Research found that curcumin supplementation improved endothelial function by approximately 36% over an 8-week period in postmenopausal women, a group particularly vulnerable to circulation decline. Here's your MediGentle recipe. Warm 12 ounces of water, not boiling, comfortably warm. Add 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric or 1 inch of freshly grated turmeric root. Add a generous pinch of freshly ground black pepper, approximately 1/8 of a teaspoon. Add half a teaspoon of coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. Curcumin is fat soluble, meaning it needs a small amount of fat to be absorbed properly. Stir thoroughly. Drink this in the morning after breakfast. The food in your stomach enhances absorption further, and the fat from your meal provides additional absorption support. The warming sensation from this drink is gentle but noticeable. Many of my patients describe it as a slow wave of warmth that starts in the chest and gradually extends to the hands and feet over about 20 to 30 minutes. If you take blood-thinning medication, please consult your doctor before adding this drink. Curcumin has mild, natural blood-thinning properties. For most people, this is actually beneficial. But when combined with prescription blood thinners, it requires medical guidance. And now, number 1, This is the one that genuinely surprised me when I first saw the research, and it might be the most delicious drink on this entire list. Number 1, pomegranate and raw cacao elixir. When I first reviewed the research on this combination several years ago, I was skeptical. The results seemed too good, too clean, too consistent. So I dug deeper. I read the full studies. I looked at the methodologies, and I started recommending it cautiously to selected patients. What I saw convinced me. Pomegranate juice contains an extraordinary concentration of polyphenols, specifically punicalagins and anthocyanins. These compounds do something unique that sets pomegranate apart from almost every other fruit. They don't just support nitric oxide production, they protect existing nitric oxide from being destroyed. After 60, the problem isn't only that your body produces less nitric oxide, it's that the nitric oxide you do produce gets broken down faster by oxidative stress. Pomegranate addresses both sides of that equation simultaneously. A study published in the journal Clinical Nutrition followed patients with arterial issues who consumed pomegranate juice daily for 1 year. The researchers found measurable improvements in blood flow and a significant reduction in arterial wall thickness. The arteries were literally becoming healthier over time, not just stable, improving. Now add raw cacao to the equation, not processed chocolate, not hot cocoa mix from a packet. Raw cacao powder, which contains one of the highest concentrations of flavonols found in any food. Cacao flavonols have been shown in multiple studies to improve endothelial function, which is the ability of your blood vessel lining to regulate blood flow. A systematic review published in the journal Age found that flavanol-rich cacao consumption was associated with significant improvements in flow-mediated dilation, one of the most reliable clinical measures of blood vessel health. When pomegranate and raw cacao are combined, the polyphenols from both sources work through complementary pathways. The pomegranate protects and boosts nitric oxide. The cacao improves the responsiveness of the blood vessels themselves. Together, they create a comprehensive circulatory upgrade that builds over time with consistent daily consumption. Here's your MediGentle recipe. Take 8 ounces of pure pomegranate juice. Read the label carefully. You want 100% pomegranate juice, not from concentrate with no added sugar. Sugar triggers insulin spikes that temporarily impair nitric oxide production, which would work against the very benefit you're seeking. Add 2 tablespoons of raw cacao powder, not cocoa powder. Raw cacao retains significantly more flavonols because it hasn't been processed at high temperatures. Stir or blend until smooth. You can add a pinch of cinnamon for flavor and a tiny pinch of black pepper to enhance absorption. The taste is genuinely pleasant, rich, slightly tart, chocolatey. Many of my patients say this is the one drink on the list they actually look forward to. The best time to drink this is mid-afternoon, between 2 and 4 p.m. Research suggests your cardiovascular system responds most favorably to polyphenol intake during this window, and the benefits extend through the evening and into overnight repair cycles when your body actively maintains blood vessel health during deep sleep. One important note: pomegranate juice does contain natural sugars. If you have diabetes or are managing blood sugar levels, limit your portion to 4 ounces of pomegranate juice diluted with 4 ounces of water and monitor your glucose response. The cardiovascular benefits are still present at this lower dose. If you're on blood pressure medication or blood thinners, pomegranate can interact with certain medications. Please discuss this with your doctor. This is a partnership between you and your physician. MediGentle gives you the information. Your doctor helps you apply it safely. Now step back with me for a moment. We've covered 5 drinks, 5 simple modifications to something you already do every single day, drinking water. But here's what I really want you to understand. These drinks are not 5 separate tricks. They are 5 layers of the same strategy. Layer 1, proper electrolyte balance, so water actually hydrates your cells. Layer 2, structural support for blood vessel walls through silica and potassium. Layer 3, nitric oxide restoration through dietary nitrates. Layer 4, inflammation reduction through curcumin. Layer 5, comprehensive nitric oxide protection and blood vessel repair through polyphenols and flavonols. Each layer addresses a different piece of the circulation puzzle that breaks down after 60. Alone, each one helps. Together, they create a compounding effect that builds week after week. This is not about one magic drink. This is about consistently giving your body the raw materials it needs to maintain circulation the way it did when you were younger. I have patients in their 70s who feel better now than they did at 60. Not because of one supplement, not because of one prescription, because they made small, consistent changes to daily habits and stuck with them. Your blood vessels have a remarkable ability to heal. Your endothelium regenerates. Nitric oxide production can be restored. Inflammation can be reduced. The body after 60 is not broken. It's waiting for the right support. These 5 drinks are that support. Let me make this as simple as possible. Here's your MediGentle weekly plan. Every morning, lemon and mineral salt water, 20 minutes before breakfast. This is your daily foundation. Throughout the day, cucumber and mint infused water. Replace at least half your plain water with this. Keep a pitcher in the fridge 3 to 4 times per week. Beetroot and ginger water, ideally 2 hours before exercise or 2 hours before bed. Every morning after breakfast, turmeric and black pepper golden water. Consistency matters most with this one. Every afternoon, pomegranate and raw cacao elixir between 2 and 4 p.m. Your daily circulation booster. You don't need to start all 5 at once. Begin with number 5 this week. Add number 4 next week. Build gradually. Let your body adjust. By week 5, you'll have all 5 layers working together. And here's my promise to you from MediGentle. None of these changes require expensive supplements. None require a prescription. None require you to give up anything you currently enjoy. They simply ask you to add something small to what you already do. Robert, the patient I told you about at the beginning of this video, started with just lemon and salt water. Within 6 weeks, he was using all 5, and for the first time in years, he felt like himself again. That's what I want for you. Which of these 5 drinks are you going to try first? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'll be there to answer your questions. If someone you care about is over 60 and struggling with cold hands, heavy legs, fatigue, or brain fog, please share this video with them, not to worry them, to help them. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a MediGentle conversation. Take care of your circulation. Take care of your heart. Take care of yourselves. Your body carried you this far. Now it's your turn to carry it forward. I'll see you in the next one. Everything shared in this video is general health information and not personal medical advice. Please consult your own physician before making any changes to your diet, hydration, or health routine.